Welcome, listeners, to the Gamer Headlines Show, Gamer Headlines' weekly entertainment podcast. This is episode 50! Oh, it's episode 50, it's crazy. I am one of your co-hosts, Chris Cortez. As always, I'm joined by my other co-host, Adnan Riaz.
50-50. Woo!
50, dude. I can't believe we've made it, man. To give you guys background, this is, well, for me, the longest podcast I've ever been a part of. I've never done a podcast or any show of any type that's reached 50, so this is huge for me. And it's huge for Adnan and I together, because we've never hosted, this is the longest we've hosted well, technically any episode after 43, right? Or 40, I think. Like, it's
40.
been our longest, yeah, so. But still, this is a pretty big, like, milestone. I can't believe we've reached to 50, man.
I can't either. It's been a long and bumpy road.
I know. And hopefully, I'm really hoping we can make it to, like, 75 and 100 and stuff like that, so hopefully we'll be able to reach those numbers. But hey, for now, 50 is great. It's a good number. It's a nice halfway point, you know? Halfway to 100. There's an old Nelly song that says, two is not a winner and 3 nobody remembers.
I remember.
That's all it takes. 50 has nothing to do with that song. I just wanted to say that quote from the song. All right, great. So there is really no point to that. So we have a great 50th show for you guys. As always, we have great topics, great news pieces, a lot of great stuff that you'd come to expect, or I hope you would, in the Gamer Headline Show. But before we get into any of that, as always, Adnan, talk nerdy to me, my friend. What has been happening? I sound like a psychologist. What has been happening since last week?
Not much, Chris. I did get around to watching some horror documentaries, though.
Those are the best.
Oh, yeah. I think I finished the Scream one a few days ago. Scream, the Inside Story.
Oh, man. What did it cover all 4, or was it just the first 3?
It covers the first film.
Oh, the first
and then
one.
they kind of, yeah, and they basically touched kind of like the final 2, the other 2 films. So this is predating Scream 4's release.
Right, okay.
The documentary. But it's just kind of more really focused on the first film and how they get the script and, like, you know, everything about it. And, like, they kind of, like, tell you the big moments of, like, how Drew Barrymore was originally in the lead role, and then she was cut down to the opening role, and, like, how much of a big shock it was. But it's really cool for, like, a great insight into, like, the kind of horror genre, because, like, I think they even said at the end, like, Scream gave the horror genre, like, an injection, like an adrenaline shot, just to kind of, like, save it from a time where it was really, really flat. And then, like, it's kind of funny how they say, like, other horror films started parodying Scream, like, Jeepers Creepers has the scene where that woman's with her friend, and she's like, you know that moment in Scream when that guy does something and he hates everyone? It kind of, like, you know, it does a knock-on effect. It's cool for that.
That's awesome, man. I don't know which one. I saw a Scream documentary a long time ago. It might have been the one you're watching. I don't know, but I think that's so interesting. The Drew Barrymore thing that you mentioned, like, that is so fucking crazy that she was supposed to be. And I think they said that they wanted it to be almost like a Hitchcockian type thing, that she's on the front poster and she's on all the promotional materials, and you think, holy shit, she's going to be, like, a huge character in this movie. It's Drew Barrymore. Like, she's one of the, you know, like, main people you could recognize at the time that movie was released. And she fucking dies in the first, like, you know, 15 minutes of the movie. Not even. I think it was, like, the first 10 minutes she dies. So
yeah, I mean, funny you say Hitchcock as well, because they talk about that later when Wes Craven makes an appearance in the film.
Oh, right.
and they basically, like, all the cast were joking that Wes Craven should be in the film. He should do, like, an Alfred Hitchcock kind of, like, moment where he inserts himself in the film, and, like, Craven didn't want to do it first, but then he eventually did, and obviously you see him dressed up as Freddy, the janitor.
Doesn't even say sorry about that, Fred, or something like that.
Yeah, he says, what does he say now? He's like, not you, Fred.
Yeah, that's so great.
Yeah, and then it's really good. I think the best part to talk about is towards the end of the actual film, where they film the finale, and basically, like, that entire finale from Scream 1 is one of the biggest finales in, like, most horror films. I think it's 45 minutes long, when they're in the house.
Oh, yeah.
Because, like, it's 21 days where they had filming on that one set, and they'll basically, because they said everyone comes all together in this one place, And it's like Craven was talking about like, how they like did this thing, and then like how the characters start to die, and then everything like with the problems that were coming up here and there, how they got rid of I think they fired the cinematographer. But it's really cool like how that documentary goes into. That documentary is great. It's like an insight for Scream, because Scream is a cult classic. I've even been watching one on Halloween as well. I think it's called A Cut Above the Rest or something.
There's another one I haven't seen yet. I think it's a Friday the 13th documentary.
Oh yeah, Never Sleep Again.
No, it's his name is Jason.
Oh, sorry, I thought you said Nightmare on Elm Street. Like in my mind, I thought
that one's good too, though. The Freddy one
long.
Is excellent, super long, but an excellent documentary.
Yeah, they go across every film. It's really funny when they touch on Nightmare on Elm Street 2. And when they switched the roles, and kind of like how it was almost a LGBT symbol during its time.
Yeah, I think the best. We might have mentioned this on the show, but fuck, it's our 50th anniversary. We'll do it again. But like one thing I thought was really funny was the actor was actually, he turned out to be, he was gay. He was gay, and he came out years later, and he's like, I look back at that movie. And, like, I was perfect for that role. Like, he even joked about it. Like, it's something that, like, I didn't think really resonated with me, but I kind of thought about it in the back of my head. And if you see it now, it really is, like you said, an LG, like a total, like, pro-gay, like, coming out type film. I mean, it's interesting as hell. I don't know if they intended that, but it's really interesting to see now. And, like, in 2015's, lenses and whatnot. But... I haven't seen his name as Jason, but I know of it because I think James Rolfe, who is the he's the guy who does Angry Video Game Nerd. He runs Cinemassacre.com. He's actually, dude. Speaking of Halloween and horror stuff, I gotta give you a recommendation. He does this thing every year. It's called Cinemassacre's Monster Madness. You would love that. It's really cool. It's basically, if you're a huge horror fan, he go every day for the entire month of October. Every day he posts a grand total of 31 videos, one a day, and he just talks about, with his friend Mike. He talks about for I don't know, like 4 or 5 minutes, like a horror movie. Like today they did The Ring. The remake, I think, from 2003 or 2004. They did that, and he's done it for years. You can even see some of the older ones he's done. I personally prefer the older ones. I think they have a cooler format. They're a lot more informative. They're quicker. They're really well edited. He's doing something different this year, but you would really dig those, man. I think you should check those out.
Did you say it was His Name Was Jason, the documentary?
Yeah, it's called His Name Is Jason.
There's another one. It's Crystal Lake Memories, the complete history of Friday the 13th. It's 6 hours and 40 minutes long.
Oh, holy fuck!
It's basically they talk about everything, including all those fucking stupid names that the films have. But yeah, it's a fucking epic long documentary which I'd recommend.
That is, holy fuck.
Yeah, it's something. But definitely, I love watching documentaries. I think it's going to be a topic one day we'll have on the show.
Oh, totally.
I think one of the best things. It's kind of like as I get older as well, and like some of the films I don't want to watch. Kind of like when you watch the bonus features and like older films and just like see them make the film, like everything about it. I think it's just more interesting for me, kind of putting them together. Like Scream was a different, completely different development hell compared to Halloween, compared to Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And then funnily enough, all these films were horror-defining, moments for that genre. So it's great when you see that kind of thing. I love documentaries and just even making ofs and bonus features. Even got my favourite Bobby De Niro thing from there as well. It's like, Stephen, I don't want to be my Bobby De Niro. I don't want every film I make to star Harrison Ford. Irony.
And a brief correction, it's actually called His Name Was Jason, not Is Jason. So when you're looking at
it.
So
his name is Jason.
No, his name was Jason.
Yeah, his name was Jason. I was going to say, because it's not is. Well, it probably is. But
it probably still is.
They should have made it, his name is / was Jason. That should have been what it basically should have been, because they're not going to end it.
No, never. Dude, for me, and this is actually an excellent segue, but for me, actually, I've been playing a game that I know you very much want to play, Until Dawn on PS4. And, dude, it's actually really funny. I'll really brief, story behind it. But basically, Until Dawn was I drunk bought it. Like I was working on my next film, which I've mentioned to you guys before, Drunk Max 2, Still Drunk. And I was editing the movie, and it was a scene where I had to get drunk to edit it. And my wife wasn't home, and she usually is the one that kind of says, "What are you doing? Stop doing this." I'm like, "All right, I'm sorry," but she wasn't here, so I was literally drunk with power. And I guess it's the weirdest thing. I bought a Star Wars calendar for 2016 and Until Dawn, and I have no memory of actually buying it. Like the way I found out was the next day I got an email, and Amazon's like, "Hey, your order shipped," and I'm like, "What?" And I checked, and I and for some reason I bought a used copy of Until Dawn, so I was really afraid, because I'm a stickler, for like getting stuff in perfect condition. Like I like, if I'm going to buy something used, I want to make sure it's in the original case, it has the instruction manual if applicable, and so on. But I was very lucky. I got it for a very cheap price. It was like, I think like a little over $40 with tax. It wasn't the full $60 price. And it was in the case. The disc was fine. Everything worked great. And anyway, as it so happens to be, I fucking love this game. I mean, it was on my list of games to eventually buy, so I wasn't too far off the mark in buying it. But oh man, dude, it's one of those things that we should definitely do like a spoiler cast on it one day. Like it's something that you and I would like. I know it's not a recently released title, but
well, it didn't have to be a released title. It's still very relevant. I might even pick it up next week, because I've still got Batman, Arkham Knight, and Infamous. I might trade them in.
Yeah.
So I really don't even want to see Batman Arkham Knight right now, because it makes me angry every time I see it. I've also got Infamous Second Son, which I'm never going to play again. But yeah, I'm definitely keen on picking it up, because I feel like that was kind of more of the biggest misses of the year, including Gears of War Ultimate Edition. I just haven't had time to pick these games up. It's kind of really upsetting when I think about them. I definitely have it on the list, though.
Dude, it's totally up your alley. I mean, I say it's up, like up Adnan's alley. That sounds so weird to say. Up Adnan's alley.
Almost.
Yeah, it sounds like I'm saying up Adnan's ass, but no, it's.
Well, maybe it might be up my ass. Well, that's for a podcast in itself.
But
that's one of Until Dawn's choices.
Yeah, shove this game up Adnan's ass. Chris, don't do it. Well, I mean, I guess it's your choice.
Run.
Or run. But. What was it? No, dude, it's I mean, maybe not spoiler cast, but maybe like a topic one day in Gamer Headlines. We could talk about it, but yeah, no, it's really cool, man. Rebecca, my wife, actually got into it as well. She thought it was a really cool story, and she was actually, I've beaten it once already, and obviously there's alternate endings, and certain people die and certain people don't. You could save people, you can't save people. And, my first playthrough, I played it with her, and we were both making the choices together, and we did pretty well. There's a couple of people. Hayden Panettiere died in my game, and I got really sad about that. But I was like, Claire, no.
Oh, dick. God damn it.
But for the most part, like, it was a pretty cool story, and there's still so much to explore. I'm actually doing a second playthrough right now. And I'm playing as what's this guy? I'm doing it again, but what I'm doing is I'm making the opposite choices that I made from the last one. So like, if I was like a nice guy in one scene, I'm an asshole now, and stuff like that. And it's really fun, dude. And then I know there's like a guide online, I think, of how to like beat the game with and save everyone or something like that. And I have no idea how that's going to change the story, but yeah, I'm really looking forward to playing it again, like and like seeing what the changes are now with like certain characters dying and certain characters not. But it's one of those games that it's like, I've never been keen on replaying story-based games, like doing like a Telltale or anything like that. Even Heavy Rain, I was kind of like replaying it after a while. It was a little bit boring, but this is one of those games that like. There's even documentaries on the disc. There's bonus features and stuff. And one of the documentaries, they say, look, our script was 1,000 pages long. Just take that in. 1,000 pages. That's a lot, man. Like, usually it's like a page per minute of film or like, like scene. So that's like 1,000 minutes. That's a huge story. And that's because of all the alternate choices they have and things like that. So, if you're a horror fan, if you're Adnan, if you're someone that really really wants, like, it really is to me the best looking, like, visually PS4 game currently out there. I think it's better looking than Phantom Pain. It really is the best No, seriously. I mean, it's apples, dude. It's apples to oranges. Like Phantom Pain is wide and expansive and beautiful, and everything about the Fox engine is so fucking wonderful. But Heavy Rain, wow. Until Dawn has like those Heavy Rain-esque, like almost like sets that you're limited to where you can go, but everything in that area is so fucking wonderfully detailed. Like the lighting is great, the motion capture techniques they did, everything is just extraordinary about that. But seriously, like if anyone owns a PS4 or if you're gonna buy a PS4, make this one of your first games. Like, you know, if you're into that sort of stuff, like cinematic horror, you know, driven choice games. If not, you know, get whatever makes you happy. But I would definitely say like go for it. I think it's a really cool, like, you know, game, and I'm super happy I drunk bought it. I mean, well, maybe not money wise, but you know, as a customer, I was very satisfied. It was really great.